Hey everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life here for another lift and sketch with Christy and Rachel. We are using this beautiful sketch by Laura Whitaker, and I will also be digging into my January Secret Not Secret Kit Club for this one. I'm so excited to finally get these photos scrapped. They are 2 photos of my son helping me scrape off my car when it was really icy at the beginning of this year, or just the end of last year. And he was so excited to help. He put on my gloves because that's how you have to scrape things, is with my gloves. And he tried so hard. He was my big little helper, and they're just adorable photos. And I just love how much he wants to help now, and how he thinks he can do like bigger things and be a bigger role and help. So that's what this is going to document. And I am using this beautiful collection. It's from Kaiser Craft. This is all from my Secret Not Secret Kit Club from Christina. And it is called Mint Wishes. And it is so beautiful. So all of the pattern paper minus one, which I'll show you in a second, are all from the collection. I am following the sketch extremely closely because I loved it so much. So I went ahead and, as you can see, traced circles. I used my tape to the inside and the outside for one of them, and then just my little Shimmers bottle for the other one. It made the perfect size for me. So that's how I make circles a lot of times. I just find the most thing closest to me that's circular and the size I want, and I just use that to trace it. Nothing too fancy there. And then here I go, just trying to trim it down. I was going to make this teal piece a little bit longer, but I didn't like how much it was sticking out. I preferred it to kind of follow the sketch a little bit more, where there was space around it. So that's why you saw me trimming in there. I'm using a little bit of one of the border strips because I love that little added kind of piece of dimension that I saw in the sketch. And I didn't want to use the doily one because I thought that would be, I'm bringing a doily in, which you'll see in a minute. But I thought that'd be a little bit too feminine, and because it's obviously a layout about Jackson, I just chose not to do that. So the snowflake one is what I choose, and then I just slip it down far enough so you can't really tell it's a snowflake, but that's okay because it's talking about cold, so I guess snowflakes would have worked anyways. And then you can see I'm also using that fun texture. I'm not even sure what it is, but I love it so much. It's got like snow crystals on it. It's just beautiful. It's so much fun. Created the neatest texture ever. And then you put that with the doily. It's just, and the wood grain paper. There's a lot of texture to this layout, which is why I think I love it so much. Because there's not a lot, really, it's not a lot, but just layering it the way I did and the choices I make, I feel like it really was kind of a grungy, but in a good way look. So I was very pleased with it. I do add these beautiful color cast snowflakes to this layout, exactly where the stars were located in the sketch. And that was nice because it kind of told me where my embellishment places were going. And then my biggest struggle on this layout was actually trying to figure out exactly where my title was going to go. I knew what my title was. It was just going to be My Big Helper, so a simple title, but I wasn't exactly sure where it was going to go. So you see I try to just stack them on top of each other here. But what ends up happening, I do it off screen, is I'm going to go ahead and just use the word my going around the circle at the top, so it's kind of highlighted. You can see it. I stitched it in white, so it's a very subtle look because I didn't want my stitching to be kind of a focus. I wanted it to be subtle, which is why I chose white and then 2 kind of light teals. But the white is really hard to see. You can see it in person a lot easier, but I felt like if I use the word my and then big in the circle, it just kind of helped showcase that it was there. So that's going to be my final decision with my title. I do trace around the word big so that it sticks out as well. And then, I'm so sorry, this is just off a little bit. I didn't realize that I had slid my layout down, but to finish everything off, I just add a little bit more of this beautiful craft. I want to bring that into the layout as well. And I do a nice little corner piece at the top, and then at the bottom what I had done is I ripped it and then laid it down at the bottom, trimmed it so it's just this little bit. It's kind of like a border strip, but with a fun kind of texture to it. And then I add the leaves, which are just part of the collection, ephemera pack to this collection. And I'm using those because the black and the word my and helper are really sticking out. And so when you add the black little leaves, it kind of blends it all together and makes the perfect finishing touch, which is what I was looking for. And I'm really pleased with the way this one turned out. I did add a bit of the navy from an Amy Tan collection just because my son is wearing a toque with with navy in it, so I wanted to bring that color in as well. And then I'll put my journaling in that bottom circle under the word helper, which I do off camera. You don't see it in my final photo. I haven't quite figured out exactly how I want to document this, but I am very pleased. My finishing touches is just, of course, a little bit of Heidi Shine and a few sequins and a little washroom like wood veneer boy that I found in the middle of nowhere, but I figured why not add that? It's a good way to get it off of my desk and onto a page. So very, very pleased with this. I will show you the finished, the sketch again and my finished layout. If you haven't checked out Rachel's take on it yet, please make sure you head on over and look at hers. I'm sure it's fabulous. And we will be back next month and we have a surprise, so stay tuned. Bye everyone.